Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're in the right place at the right time. This is Dr. Ron, and you are here for the Ask Dr. Ron Facebook Live broadcast for today. It must be 5 o'clock because I'm here and you're here, and my co host is on the way here. When she gets here, we will chime her into the show. But right now, she's on her way. So we're going to go ahead on and get things started. She'll be here shortly. Miss Shatrice has contacted me and told me she was stuck in traffic, but she's on her way. So the first thing I want to do is do what I always do when I do a broadcast. I want to give a shout out to all of our healthcare workers. I know people see me show up every week in this doctor's shirt. It is my solidarity to all the healthcare workers that are on the front line that are dealing with COVID-19. COVID-19 is not over with, folks. You know, we still got people that are dying, that are getting sick, that are being confirmed as having COVID-19. As of today, we got 3,858,000 cases in the United States. As of today, on CNN, we got 141,000 people that have died from COVID-19 in the United States. That's being reported by CNN. I try to check the numbers every time I come on the broadcast because I want to be able to have accurate numbers to be able to give you where they are doing the due diligence of finding out how many people are sick, how many people have passed away from COVID-19. And I know that there's all types of information that's floating around on the internet about people that are saying there is no pandemic, there's not that many people dying from COVID-19. Even the president of the United States is saying, well, if you get sick, you're going to get well, but you don't know that. I don't want to see people taking chances with their life and making mistakes to something that they could possibly regret for the rest of their life. So I encourage everybody, to respect COVID-19, to respect the things that are going on about COVID-19, take all the precautions, must take all the necessary steps in order to be able to be careful when it comes to dealing with COVID-19. So don't, don't go around thinking that it's okay. That COVID-19 is there's no such thing, as COVID-19. They just pulling your leg. I'm not willing to take that experimental chance with my life to find out for sure. So I'm willing to take all the necessary chances that I can and precautions that I can to stay safe. So I wear this and I'm going to continue to wear this until we get an all clear that we can go forward from here, that COVID-19 is no longer a threat. I'm going to continue to wear this in solidarity to all of our people on the front line. And our prayers go out to you, and I thank you, and I appreciate you for being on the front line, taking care of us on the front line, keeping us alive, and keeping our loved ones alive. Also, I want to give a shout out to all of our pastors that are on the front line that are praying for people, that are working with people, that are that are hurting right now, people that are in pain and crying out, and pastors, you doing an outstanding job keeping people spiritually uplifted, bringing what the Word of God says to each and every one of us, and we thank you for doing that. Special shout out to my pastor, my mentor, Dr. Lloyd Michael Hunt. I definitely, thank him each and every chance I get. He brings the word each and every day. He's always praying for me. I'm always praying for him. And, I encourage other people, if you don't have a spiritual leader, get one and then pray for them. Pray for them. Keep them uplifted because they are feeling this COVID-19 as well. but yet many of them are doing their job. They're lining up on the front line to try and keep us encouraged and keep us uplifted during a time like this. So definitely, if you scroll down on my feed, you'll get a chance to see pictures of Dr. Hunt. Dr. Hunt is on my feed, and you'll get a chance to see him and some of the pictures of Dr. Hunt because he is there, and he was talking to us on New Year's Eve on 2011, and on 2011 he was telling us about all of the things that were going to be happening in the world today. And they are truly happening right now in the world today. So Dr. Hunt has been definitely, in the face of God, and he knows what's going on, and he can tell you what's going on. So if you scroll down, you'll see pictures of Dr. Hunt, uh, back in 2011 when we were doing our New Year's Eve service, and it was outstanding. And he definitely in 2011 spoke about what's going on right now in 2020. So I ain't going nowhere. I'm gonna keep praying for him, and I'm gonna encourage him to keep praying for me. Also, what I like to do is give a special condolences to all the people that have lost loved ones during the course of this pandemic and all the things that are going on right now. People have lost folks and family members and friends that they have not been able to say their official goodbye to. And I know that's a hurting thing because I know people are out here struggling and in pain right now. And I just encourage each and every person to stay uplifted. We're praying for you, keeping you uplifted at a time like this because we need, closure sometimes when we lose a loved one. But I would just encourage you to say, as long as you keep them in your heart, they will often and always be with you. As often as you think of them, they'll be there. So those words of comfort we want to offer up to you. Speaking of people that are no longer with us, we lost two legends on last week. Representative John Lewis, 80 years old, that's been part of the civil rights movement all of his life, and Reverend C.T. Vivian, 95 years old. He also was part of the civil rights movement going all the way back to Dr. Dr. King. So I would encourage you all to keep their families uplifted, keep their families held up. And I mean, that's a landmark when you talk about people like two civil rights legends that have fought all their lives to help bring us a change in our lives. And in our lives, we can accredit some things that have happened to the work that they have done. So I am happy that they were here and were a part of a movement and they were very positive in their movement. The things that they did were peaceful protests, sit-ins, marches, things of that nature that were successful. And they laid a blueprint on how to successfully accomplish things against an unmovable object, namely America. This country we call America was immovable and stubborn. And these men, they took an approach that cost them great pain. They talk about Representative Lewis and how he had got concussions in his head when he was doing some of the marching with Martin Luther King and some of the other leaders of that time, and the brutality of the police then that we talk about today was even worse then. And he suffered, concussions, thrown in jail, and abuse at the hands of the police to help accomplish some of the things that we have as privileges in this country today that sometimes we take for granted. You know, and I posted on my Facebook page. If you scroll down, you'll see a sign of a young lady and a daughter standing outside of a sign that says colored entrance. That was a reality for us back in the 50s and in the 60s. And, those type of things were, that was our norm. So when you fast forward to 2020, you just like think that was so far fetched. But those were some of the things that change was able to be executed, you know, by some of our legends in the civil rights movement. So now, as we go forward into 2020, we have to look and see what the agenda is going to be. What are we going to be able to accomplish now? The stair steps and on the backs of the people that were there first. Now they're no longer here, so the work doesn't stop. We have to continue the work. We can't give up because we got so much more to do. We have so much more to accomplish. We got so much more to go after in this day and age. And I just encourage everybody to don't get it twisted. Yeah, there's multiple agendas that are going on out there in the community and in the streets. And we're going to have a community activist coming on the show today that's going to help us talk about some of the things that are going on in the streets. But please don't get it twisted. There's multiple agendas out there. And hopefully we'll be able to accomplish multiple things. But don't give up. We got to keep going until we're able to accomplish a whole lot more. I want to give a couple of shout outs. We got Reggie Miles on the show today. He's tuned in watching us. My brother gets up every morning and plays gospel music, inspirational music every morning on his broadcast. He's on Twitch. You send him a friend request. He would love to have you as a friend. He also broadcasts on Facebook Live. Reggie, I want to encourage you to put your information up there so people can find you. If they happen to need an uplifting of gospel music early in the morning, you're there every day. And I've turned over several mornings and hit that button, and you right there getting it on, brother. And I thank you for your labor of love and the work that you do. So definitely, he's been on this show before, and we're gonna get him back on again. Hopefully, soon. Because he definitely has a powerful message himself. And he ministers in music every morning. He ain't missed one yet. So shout out to my brother Reggie Miles that's on the line. Miss Janetta's on the line. Appreciate her. All the way from New York, Michael Cooney, another good friend of mine. Michael and I we've accomplished some first things in our careers. Michael Cooney used to be one of the executives at a company called Columbia Artist Management. He probably don't want nobody to know that. But he was very instrumental in getting me and my brother the first two blacks to ever take tours for Columbia Artist Management. International tours, domestic tours. My brother did lights, I did sound. My brother did management, company manager work, and I did other work, and we managed those tours very professionally, and they used to bring us back in tandem, but we were the first to go out for that company and be a part of running tours for them across the country, entertainment tours. So Michael Cooney was very instrumental in making those things happen. We are glad to have him on the line today, all the way from New York. We're gonna have our guest coming on in a minute. Let me go to my commercial right now, and then we're gonna bring our guest on. I know he's anxious to get on the line here. Mr. Revin Fellows is going to definitely be joining us in a few minutes. So y'all hang on. We're going to get him on the line. Right now, we're going to go to our commercial. So the first thing you're going to hear is my theme song, okay? So y'all listen to my theme song, and then I'll explain to you what's going on my website.
Ask Dr. Ron, whatever you're feeling, local and globally.
All right. I want to invite you all to go over to my website, ask-dr-ron.com. That's askdrron.com. And when you get over there, you'll find a lot of good information. And one of the things I want to point out, because it's on the homepage of my website, is this African term called Sankofa. And on the term, what Sankofa means is written right there alongside. The definition is right there, and there's some things that in African proverbs that are very relevant, So I want to encourage you to definitely go over to my website and take a look at that, because I think it's very relevant. It can be very powerful and also helping us understand where we're going. You'll also see some of my behind the scenes action with some of the people that I have worked with backstage and on stage. And then we'll get to our advertisers. Now, I want to go through my advertisers so that they don't feel cheated. Some of my advertisers, Chief Nomo's Oasis. He's on the south side of Chicago. And then Chief Nomo's Oasis, you can go there and you will find products and goods from the west coast of Africa. On the west coast of Africa, they bring in oils and soaps, moringa seeds, and he also produces alkaline water right here in Chicago that is excellent for your health, to create positive immune system. With Corona going around, he can also sit down and talk to you about getting a more optimum health for yourself. And that's some of the things that you want to do, is be able to build up your immune system so that you don't get sick and possibly hurt yourself dealing with this coronavirus. So Chief Nomo, click on the banner here. It'll take you to his website. He would not mind setting up an appointment to sit down and talk to you so that you can find out how to better improve your health. Also, you will find a link to National Blog Club University. Mr. Cyron Smith has been working 20 plus years in the community all across the world, trying to help establish safe communities for seniors, for children, for adults all over, anywhere, block by block, that people live. Mr. Cyron Smith has been working trying to establish safe communities for each and every person that is in the community. And if you're interested in working with Mr. Cyron Smith, because it's a work for everybody, it's enough work for everybody. All you have to do is click on the banner here. It'll take you right to his website, and you'll be able to reach out to him. Tell Cyron that Dr. Ron told you about it. You saw it on this show, and you're interested in talking to him on trying to get some information on how to help in your community. Let's see. Also, we have one of my best and most favorite sponsors, Port Again Sam. Port Again Sam brings in some of the spirits and cognacs from all over the world. Okay? And I tell you, you won't find anything better than Sam can bring it in. He brings in from all over the world. And I tell you, they're exclusive. You can't get them in any store anywhere. You can only get them directly from Sam. He works directly with the vineyards. And I tell you, I have turned into a collector, because I have found wines that he have had that he can't get anymore. And I tell you, once I find it, I try to hold on to it and enjoy it at the appropriate time. So Port Again Sam, click on the banner. It'll take you over to his website, and you'll be able to make contact with him. You can set up a wine tasting and find out what Sam has available for you to enjoy. And last but not least, RRJ Webb. RRJ Webb has been with me over 10 years. He is a web designer. He can take whatever concept you have in your head, whatever business model that you want to try to put on a website, he can do it. He will develop it. He will help you host it. He will do maintenance for you. RRJ Webb has, man, he's the best, one of the best out there in the business. And I know it's a lot of people out there, but you won't find anybody that can bring your concept to flourishing off of out of your brain on put it out there on the World Wide Web. So if you're interested in trying to create a presence on the internet, which everybody in business should have some type of web presence, that's something that you definitely want to do is touch bases with Mr. Ralph Jenkins at RRJ Web. All right, so now we're at that time of the show. Before I go and introduce our guest, I want to also invite you to check out some of the other things that are on my website, especially Cash Crowdfund. If you're not familiar with Cash Crowdfund, we have a couple of videos that are posted up there that explain what it is. There's also information up there that you can find out what it's not so that you can understand better about what it is. I know we're in a time where money is hard to come by, but they operate from a perspective that, you know, we can share money with one another and allow ourselves to keep money coming in and be able to definitely keep a cash flow coming. Okay, so definitely check out the tab that says Cash Crowdfund so that you can definitely figure out how to keep some money coming into your house and keep your bills getting paid. Also over there, there's a contact card. Please fill out the contact card so that we can keep you updated with information that's going on over there at the website. Once again, that's ask-dr-ron.com. That's askdrron.com, and you'll be able to keep up to date with what's going on with me and all of the people that we have on our show. All right, so now it's that time of the show. We're going to bring our guest on. My brother that has been on the show many times before. I am so glad to have him with his free time. Mr. Revin Fellows, community activist with boots on the ground. What's up, my brother?
I'm all right. Can you see me, Doc?
Yes, I can. I can see
Okay,
you.
I'm rotating, so you know we have a little technical difficulties. I know I'm handsome and good looking. I want to make sure the screen right.
Okay. Well, we can see you. That's a good thing. I see you multitasking right now. I see you out there riding in the hood as usual, doing more than one thing at a time.
Well, you got to check the traps. So it's the best thing to know how to move around. I've been moving around. They got a couple of wars going on in the drug areas. They got a couple of retaliations. So when you're moving around, if you don't have your ears to the ground, boots on the ground, you might ride into something you ain't supposed to be in.
I know that's right, brother. I know that's right. Well,
So
look,
I
I
can let you know
appreciate you
when you're
taking
coming
time to
down.
come on to the show.
So bless you, man. Thank you for having me. I appreciate the opportunity. Too many people, a lot of people don't want me on their show, so I welcome your courage.
Well, look, bro, I ain't got to be courage because you my friend. So, I'm not scared of you. It's the people that's afraid of you that don't know you.
Yeah, that might be true. Well, I seen you in action before, so I don't know.
That's
You
funny.
know how to try.
We were talking about that a couple of weeks ago. Because sometimes I have to threaten Reven, y'all. Reven will say I'm busy. I can't do your show. I'm like, look, you made me buy some hot sauce from some people that was nasty as all get up because you was trying to support their business, but it came out of my pocket. And I'm like, man, are
That's
you
your
kidding
show.
me? Yeah. Yeah, well, you should have paid for it because I bought some home and I had to throw it away.
It was collective items. You wasn't supposed to use it.
Man, please. Look, I buy fish. I'm going to use it.
uh, yeah, but yeah, we won't visit that. I'm gonna bring you more products though from round the way. That's I test
Yeah.
it first.
Yeah. Well, look, man, are you able to pull over somewhere? Because I don't want you to hurt yourself out there driving around.
Yeah, I'm about 2 feet from it, so we can talk where I get. I'm gonna park and we gonna. As they say, park and ride.
Yeah, man, because I know you trying to multitask, man, and I definitely don't want you, have something bad happen while you on my show, man, because then all my listeners will have to be a witness, okay? And I don't want that to be, you know, so
Most definitely. So I'm gonna make that happen. I
okay.
appreciate
So
you.
we're gonna bear with
Thank
you a
you.
couple of seconds while you find your parking space, okay? So you can pull over a little bit, you know.
Okay. All right.
You in your spot now?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Now lean the camera down a little bit so people can see what you really look like. There
Okay.
he is, y'all. There he is. We got Mr. Revin
Okay.
Fellows. Yes. You know.
Right.
So
That,
yeah, that's good. So now, Revin, I know you're out there on the street. You hanging out with State Representative LaShawn Ford quite a bit. And I know LaShawn has been keeping you busy, as an advocate and ears and as a lobbyist and a whole lot of different things. So I know you get a chance to hear about things a lot of time before a lot of people hear about it. And man, give us some information, man. What's going on? Because I do have a question for you. As we get into it, because I definitely want. I know you heard me talking earlier about some of the legends of the civil rights movement that just have passed away. Representative John Lewis and Reverend C.T. Vivian. So we ain't got them no more. So and I know you have been working with, like I say, Rep Ford and other people to help establish the what's going forward. So whatever you can share, because I know some stuff is confidential. You ain't gonna be able to share everything, but what you can share, please share with us what you can.
well, one of the things I want to definitely give honor to our legends and soldiers and historians that have just went on to the ancestry. There's a lot of criticism about the work of civil rights that haven't been done, that should have been done, and they've done the best they could, but not the best they should. And that circumstance creates a situation. But we have to reproduce leadership. The thing will be, have they produced any young people to come supersede their legend, their history, and are they going to show up? Because what we're doing is we have every other ethnic group. They have, if you look at the Latinos, there's young people out front. You look at all the other ethnic groups, whites, they got young people out of college. Unfortunately, we do not have our young men and women being promoted by our elders for to take over the torch. I always tell them, let your grandchildren get the keys and why don't you ride in the back seat for a little while. But with that being said, we organized a group, State Rep Ford. Well, he's in his 40s, he's a young man. But we organized a group called Level Up. I put together a young millennial group after they came at them about they wasn't registered to vote and all that. So I put together about 10 young people from across the city, male and female, and we started an organization called Level Up and Vote. Level up, get your money. Level up, get your school. Level up, get your education. Level up, get your business. That's a buzz. So we organized Ms. Chantel Grant. She's the president. I'm one of the co-founders, and that was to organize a lot of those young people running for office, state offices, aldermen, local office. And so we have some fruits that Rep Ford was mentoring them and sharing with them. So hopefully he don't fall victim to not having young people to be able to come behind him as he move forward to become an elder in the game. And up to date, the president 45 is about to send. I guess they send Homeland Security in. So I texted about 15, 20 people yesterday that I know, activists, Muslims, Christians, people that work on the ground in terms of organizing.
and I didn't get but about 3 return texts. Fred Hampton Jr. hit me, and I talked with Rep for a minute, but it's alarming to me that they feel that Lori and them can stop the president of the United States from coming into Chicago when he supersedes the city and state and executive order. And so if he doesn't come in, I don't think we should depend if he don't or do. We should be preparing young people what to expect on the street, how to act, how to engage law enforcement, now how to engage military. If we don't do that, we put them young people that really have a trouble communicating with themselves, especially with us, in a situation to be locked up, and we don't have lawyers. So I'm really concerned that the activist community has not responded to my call. And hey, man, I got young men in my program, Books Over Balls. I already teach them how to deal with police when they get stopped. Now we got to teach them how to deal with military when they get stopped. If we don't do that, we lend them prey to being locked up with not knowing their rights.
Yeah, that's true. So part of what you're doing right now is preparing them for the next wave of attack, because you got to figure that we're still under attack in waves, you know, and and everybody that we see and everybody that we're dealing with is not always a villain, you know, but they can be
Right.
villainized. You know, they can be made to look like a villain. They look like, you know, the person who did it or the person who's about to do it. You know, it was so crazy. I see a lot of young people now, and I used to teach my son this when he was 16, 17 years old. Always carry a ID with you. Always. Because if you don't have an ID with you, then you're John Doe. Okay? And being John Doe, they can always make you the person who did it. Okay? And being John Doe is never a good thing when you trying to you back, Revin?
Yes, sir. I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. All right,
Okay.
tilt your camera down again a little bit.
Okay.
It slid down some, or slid up some, or something. There you go.
What
Now
was
we
it
can
right
see it.
there?
Yeah, that's good. And what I was saying was when my son was 17 years old, my youngest son, 16, 17 years old, we keep losing Mr. Fellows here. He must be in a bad spot somewhere. He gonna call me back. Hold on a second, y'all. He's having technical difficulties on his end of things. So we're gonna get him straight in a minute here. He gonna call me back in 1 minute. Here he come. We gonna have him. We gonna get him on here for a minute here. Hopefully we can keep him on there this time. You back?
Yes, sir. Sorry about
Okay,
that,
that's
man.
okay. That's all right. I know you. I know you out there in the hood. No telling what's going on where you at. You might be having a bad connection where you at, but hopefully it won't fade out again. But what I was explaining was that when my son was young, I used to tell him to always carry ID with him so he can identify who he is. Just don't go nowhere without any ID, because if you get stopped by somebody, police or authorities of any kind, and you cannot prove who you are, then you are considered a John Doe. And they can make you guilty of anything that John Doe did because you can't prove that you're nobody else. You can't prove who you really are. So if they start putting all the unsolved John Doe crimes on you, you're going to be responsible for a whole lot of stuff that you might not have had nothing to do with. Okay? So I taught my son how to always keep ID on him, and he got it. By the time he turned 18 years old, he understood how important it was to keep picture ID on him at all times. So that's something very simple and basic. Never go nowhere without being able to identify who you are. And those are the kind of things that people that are on the street need to be able to do. You don't want to walk around and be guilty of some stuff that you didn't have nothing, didn't know anything about, but they're gonna make you responsible anyway. So it's a lot of little things like that that can make a difference when you come in contact with people. This whole responsibility, a whole job and responsibility is to take you off the streets and make you accountable and responsible for something you didn't do. That's their job. They trying to solve crimes, and if they can pin it on you, they gonna make you the one. Go ahead, brother.
Well, no, your son is fortunate enough to have you to give him wisdom from the streets. A lot of young men don't have fathers and men around to tell them how to. So we teach with my program how to engage law enforcement and keep your constitutional rights intact. So we find it's better to equip young men with something to protect themselves than to have them frustrating communication, start cussing the officer out and going there. But I tell my young men, you yes sir, no sir, show your ID, be appropriate. Look at the badge number on his shirt, look at the squad car number on the car, and keep your mouth closed and ask for a lawyer and your mama. Outside of that, shut up, shut your mouth.
Right.
Talk about so that is what we gotta do now. We gotta deal with this military. I called Rep Ford, I told him to find out on his level what's gonna be the rules of engagement. And I called my good friend with the Coalition of African Leaders. There's a new black FBI agent in Chicago, most people don't know, and he's in town. So I made some calls so they can call him. What is going to be they can't give us the whole plan, but they got to give us at least some information that protect my young boys out here in the street and young girls. Like how do you do rules and engagement? Because I tell my young men, keep your voter's registration card, keep your ID, keep your social security card, keep a library card. See, keep those things, and if you're driving while black, keep your library, keep your books in the back seat, and if you're working, keep your church stub in your pocket. Those are rules of engagement. You teach the tricks of the trade. So when you get pulled over, yes, officer, if you got a check stub, he know you're an adult dealer, and if you got books in the back, he hoping you might be in school.
There you go. That's what's up. So you got to give them all of that, not just part of it, but all of it. Because any of that can save you from complications and winding up in a pine box. And I don't even know if they do pine boxes no more. But that's not a place that you want to wind up. Period.
No, the pine box was cheap. Now we're doing cremation for our family, especially since the COVID-19. But then, a lot of black people think GoFundMe is your insurance policy.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's what they think. They pass the hat at the family function. That's why can't nobody afford not to go to a family function because they need your money. Yeah. Now look, I know that you are very close to the people that are putting the agenda together for people of color. Notice how I use that, people of color. And moving forward, since we have now lost two of our legends, of the civil rights movement, it's safe to say that's the end of an era. That era is no longer able to go back to. Okay, we can't go backwards. Okay, so moving forward, what would be, and I mentioned this earlier, that there's multiple agendas out there. People with different, programs, different, platforms. How do we address, because, like, say for instance, education might not be my cause, okay? Might be somebody else's cause, but I support education. Stopping racism might be my agenda. Stopping, like you say, books over balls agenda is dealing with the young people, addressing them. But how do you tie all these agendas together and how do they connect moving forward? And I know you got an answer to that question because you in everybody's meeting. I know you know.
As my friend and yours always say, that's a follower of your show sometimes, Mark Allen.
Yes.
I'm glad you asked.
Yes. Is what?
I'm glad you asked. That's Mark's favorite line. But I want to say, man, and I thank you for the opportunity, and I want your listeners to get a pen and paper and listen very carefully. And I hate I don't have the bills, so maybe when you go back to put this up, we can put the bills up. But marching the street is great to get attention. And bring the Martin Luther King march for attention to bring global attention to an issue. And if you march down the street, people find out because everybody not on the internet news. But we know enough information about what's going on in Chicago right now. So what I'm saying to the people is there's 3 agendas that black people should be on. Now maybe 4. But three I'm going to name that State Rep Ford is doing right now. That's a black agenda that's could be achieved if black people get behind it. Call your state legislator, call your mayor, call your governor, call your legislator, and even call Rep Ford's office and say you support it. So here's the three things that we can do, because 45 is a distraction. Bringing the system, the security, Homeland Security here is a distraction. Marching over in Inglewood, marching over here, all those are distractions from the issue, because if you don't have policy, all that's just a waste of time. So I applaud the brothers in the street marching, but everybody's marching. But about 4 months ago, State Rep Ford launched a campaign for broadband to go into black communities statewide, but specifically targeting black communities. It's a piece of legislation for that. And from that time, it was about 69 signatures. So I began to make phone calls. Now remember, I'm not in technology, Brother Ron, so I kind of slow with it. I'm low tech, everybody else might be high tech. But I've been able to make calls to organizations, technology people in that area, say, listen, our children need broadband because they can't afford Wi-Fi, they don't have hotspots. If they don't have hotspots and broadband, and $9.99 Comcast chooses between your dinner and your babies to eat, and Comcast is not going to work for you. You don't feed your child. Most black women in single households don't do that. So with that being said, Rep. Ford introduced legislation to say that we got a petition right now online, and I'll get that. I'll get it for maybe we get off the show. And it's to make sure broadband Wi-Fi is in every household in the state, but specifically targeting black communities. Now, what that does is most black children were not online at the end of the school year.
All right, hold on. We lost him. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, just 1 second. I saw it when it happened. Let me go get him right back on the line. Y'all hold on 1 second. We're going to get him. We're going to get him back. Okay. All right. Y'all hold on. All right. Here we go. He's coming. He's coming. Hang in there with us, y'all. There we go.
Doc,
We got you?
I'm trying. I don't know what's wrong with this. Can you see and hear me?
Yes, sir. We got you. We got you. All right. We got you.
Okay.
Hold on. We got you back. Yep.
Trying to
All right.
the screen.
All right. We got you.
What's going on with this screen? You got me in there, Doc?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Hold. There you go. We got you back. All right.
Man, something is happening here with my screen. I can't get rid of. Okay. Hold on.
Yeah. We got you. You all right?
Oh man. But I can't.
That's all right.
You can see me?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Okay. Well, we'll keep talking. So on my screen, it's still up here. It's
Okay.
you halfway out. But
Yeah.
go ahead. As long as you can see me. So as I was saying, there's a petition online. It's about 680 right now, and I want to get a petition. So why not us sign the petition to get black children who's with Chicago Public Schools and throughout the state of Illinois free broadband? Well, it's only 600 signatures within 3 to 4 months. That means you're not advocating for education. You don't have to march in the street. It's a 2-minute petition, and I'll get it to you, but it's a 2-minute petition where you sign and say that I want free broadband for the education of our children throughout the state of Illinois, specific black community. Well, for 3 months, we only got 680 signatures. That means you ain't really, because if you ain't online, your child can't do a summer job one summer. If you ain't online, you can't get your benefits from the government, state, whatever be food stamps or whatever the case may be, link card. If you ain't online, you can't apply for a job and all the services. So we need broadband. So that should be signed. That is one black agenda. The other agenda is the Black History Bill that's been out since 1991. We talked about Mello Sam, my mentor back in the day with the Shaw brothers who passed it. And then they came to the Barbara Bird Bennett, and they put together the Amistad curriculum with Perone Rummy out of DuSable Museum. They put together a curriculum called Amistad, starting not enslaved, but pre how we got here, kings and queens, into the era to now. Well, that's a petition. I mean, that's a bill that he's got on the table that if we don't teach blacks our history, why in the hell are you downtown tearing down Columbus statue and damn black history ain't in the damn classroom? So you're going to tear down Columbus statue, but you ain't going to have education in the classroom who Columbus was, a murderer, a rapist, and doing all kinds of stuff, bringing smallpox. And you've been celebrating Columbus Day all this time, taking off school. So now you want to tear the statue down, but you don't want to enforce black history in the school. It makes us look like we're retarded. The other piece is he also has a piece of legislation. Now I'm presenting to the governor, not legislation, an executive order. An executive order to make sure he don't have to go through the Republican, Democrat. He can sign, the governor can sign it with a pen and mandate billions of dollars to go to communities based on COVID-19, based on the looting, based on us not being money. And the governor is caught on tape or on record saying black people have it hard. Well, what Rep. Ford did, since black people have it hard, he said, well, why don't you sign an executive order, governor, to say that what you're saying is true on paper. Well, since then, people are circumventing that issue of executive order. Executive order came from Roosevelt. Executive order came from the Emancipation Proclamation with Lincoln. It's an executive order. Now, what's even really foul is I'm pissed off that our people won't enforce executive order, but y'all like 45 or not. Y'all said he was tearing up families at the border. He didn't like the Latino community. He's breaking up families. He's not for sanctuary cities. Well, I'm here to tell you, the Latinos didn't march for it, didn't argue for it. On July 9th, the president 45 that y'all say is so racist signed an executive order to help rebuild the Latino community and their families. To rebuild an executive order. He ain't asked the Republican. He ain't asked the Democrat. He signed an executive order to help the Latinos to rebuild their families and infrastructure. We have an executive order in Chicago to ask the governor to help black people rebuild our community, and won't nobody call the office and make a hell of it, but yet they march in the street for Columbus, they march in the street for this, but they won't sign the executive. We have 3 black agendas that we're not supporting, but we're running around protesting when we need legislation. But again, the president's 45, and I'm not endorsing 45. He has signed an executive order to make sure the Latino community, July 9th, to get their share. And the other part, the Latino community went to the state, the governor, the last governor, and asked for $100 million. The Latino community, and this is not me praising them, just showing you how they're moving forward. And black children don't have no representation to argue for on their behalf. They got 13 new schools, got $98 million. They built it from the ground up, solar energy, glass, child care, and the flags up, and they're helping their people. While black people want $1 school with asbestos, rats, and roaches in it, and they can't afford the damn light bill to pay the damn bill on the school if they open it. Then the Catholic community, I don't know if y'all been keeping out, it's called the PPP. And that is for people, employees that work at churches, not-for-profit business. Well, the Catholic Church got together with their legal team and their lawyers, and they filed for the PPP. And they filed under federal government to be able to get $1.3 billion for the Roman Catholic diocese. And they're using that money in some cases when they're dealing with some of the issues they had in the courts with some of the molestation of children. And they're now going to open up their schools with masks to take their children, and they open up. Now, in the meantime, the black church is sitting at home trying to get tithes from you. Not all your churches. But then they found they got a few people at work. Instead of the Baptists going after the money, $1.3 billion, instead of Pentecostal going after whatever it is, and Church of God in Christ, we're now begging for tithes and trying to do something. And the Catholic Church got $1.3 million using federal government, which is 45. And this ain't me endorsing no damn 45. It's about politics' best interest, not your damn best friend. So they're leveraging for their community. The Catholics doing that, and Latinos doing that, and Pookie and Ray Ray, who looted, uprising, rebellion / looting, and then hijacked by these other people opportunities. And the only reason we have the conversation on rebuild communities because the young black children, our young disenfranchised, rose up in the city and protest. Now I don't advocate that, but I know they rose up. And since them young people rose up in Chicago, now people getting $600 for their unemployment. They get new money to open up their business. They get the government now they want us to sing the national anthem at the damn white football games. They all this stuff going on because the indigenous young people rose up, and now the black people in business and politics are riding the backs of looters, talking about their looters, but yet they get benefits of the looters and not respecting the looters who had the protest in the first place. Then they want, and I'll wrap it up, Big Ron, you set me off a little bit, but I'm tired of this jumping off Pookie and them and the children when we don't own one black grocery store, we got one black gas station, and we losing 4 or 5 black banks. But this is what's really crazy. We tear the town, the young people, because they tired of not getting economics. They gonna get our children. I ain't gonna get my students to do that. They got all the non-for-profit people in children's sports, and I appreciate it. But why are they making our children clean up the community that ain't their community? We squatters. We are squatters. We don't own nothing. So we protest to tell the community, now guys clean up the community with our children. They work for SWAT. When you go to jail, you know you got to come back with that little uniform on, look like you work for Streets of Sand, but you're working for free. But he couldn't get a job for Streets of Sand. Now they got the Streets of Sand truck sitting in front of Walgreens and the rest of the stores, making $100-something an hour while our children clean up the streets, talking about clean and green. But the children can't apply for the job. So, in that aspect, Brother Ron, my point to you is we're losing our mind. We're running around chasing rainbows, and everybody think COVID-19 is over because we got distracted. So I just want to say, man, we don't like black children. I think we hate black children because if you say you do, then everything I mentioned should have been taken care of on behalf of our children. But I see the Catholics freaking out for the Catholics. I'm looking at the Latino, look out for Latinos. But this is one last gonna blow your mind, Brother Ron. This is the Chinese community. The Chinese community down in Chinatown just got $50 million to build a high school or school from the ground up, and they don't have one Chinese alderman. Mm. It's enough to make a Negro turn back. Mm. So I don't know if you heard me. They heard me.
Yeah.
But I see.
They heard you. They heard every word you said, and the tone in which you said it in. Now, one thing that I will say that probably makes it difficult for people to understand what's going on is the fact that a lot of these legislatures and things that are written that are on social media, people can't find them. They don't know where it's at. You know, if they don't have access to people like you, and they don't have access to listen to what I got going on right here, they won't know anything about it. The things that you said are so relevant and so pertinent that we need a media campaign to be able to get this information into the right places so that people can sign that petition that you said after 6 months ain't but 600 signatures on it, you know, and to be able to, you know, draw people's attention. You see the census out there, they got horses and cowboys now to advertise the census.
Man, no, wait, hold it right there, hold it right there, hold it right there. Hold it right there. Now, I appreciate the horse and the brothers, but the last thing we need is a brother riding through Inglewood on a horse, talking about people doing a census that ain't got no damn census. I say ain't got no census. We need them brothers to get on the horses so we can secure the community on every corner, like the police doing downtown. So I say to my brother on the horses, and the original cowboys was black, we need some black men on the horses this summer to be on the corner, making sure the 100 black women who got kidnapped and missing stand on each corner with your horse, shaking hands and giving young black men some empowerment and security community. Because the horses downtown with the police department is riding around trying to make sure nobody rob, kill nobody, and get away with nothing. So I say to the census people, we need about another 100 more cowboys on some horses, and some of them consider to carry just in case, to ride around and patrol the community, making sure young girls and young boys don't get kidnapped or grabbed, and we be safe. And then you can count the census, and we'll have a whole lot of census.
My point that I was making is we needed a media move Okay, because I'm not disputing any of that. Okay, we need a media move. Okay, in order to bring more information to
Yes,
the
sir.
people
Yes, sir.
so they can know where to find information. And if you put, like the census, a person with something that's out there where they can see it, well, what's he doing? And now you can give them some information. Get on the phone, get on the internet, do this, and this, and be able to bring some of these things to flourishing that's going to begin to help what's going on in our community. Our community needs so much help, man. I mean,
And
we've
we
been
do.
deprived,
That's it.
and you know what they say, Revin. Come on now, if you wanna hide something from somebody, put it in a book, okay? Because they ain't gonna read the book, you know. But if you make it easier for people to get information, then they don't have the excuse that, well, I didn't know. They can't have unaccountability anymore. They can become accountable because we need so many things to happen in our community, just like all the things you just stated about the Chinese and the Latinos, and even the Italian American mob is standing up. Yeah, I call them the mob, standing up to protect
That's right.
Christopher Columbus statue because they say they paid millions of dollars to get this thing built in downtown Chicago, and they told on their press conference the other day, get you some politicians that can get you some statues because we got our statue and leave our statue alone. Go ahead, bro. I know you got a
Man,
comment.
you know what, man? So unique about that is, and I want black people who down there are with Columbus, because I've been talking about it for years. We don't have black history in the school, but you want a town statue. They closed all the black schools with black heroes and sheroes on them. Closed them. Gad Morgan, the first inventor of the stoplight gas mask next to Simeon, closed. You go all around the city, we let them close those schools with black leaders and he's and sheroes on there with integrity in most cases. Then we turn around, I look down there, I go by Margaret Burroughs' house, the first black museum. I drove by it 10 times, pissed off again. Her house is sitting there with a gate on it, rusted, grass and weeds, and an empty house. Now that's the first black historical museum by a historical artist and a historical woman. Right now on 39, y'all go over there and see if I'm alive, because I'm going over there, I'm trying to cut the fence, going to cut the grass. I'm going to take the young shorties over there and cut the grass. They're going to have to put me out. I'm going to get over the fence, whatever you need to do, cut her grass in honor. Her place is sitting there. DuSable Museum is getting the grass cut, but the original DuSable Museum in the house is not getting the grass cut. And it's sitting there dilapidated. I mean, just running down. So we really care about Columbus. We really care about black history. Why we let Margaret Burroughs' house, then they named the shore. Her house ain't the history. They named the harbor after her. So she went to the harbor. Then we were supposed to do Ida B. Wells sculpture in Ida B. Wells. The grandchildren and granddaughters fought for that for years. They could not get the money and people to do it. Black power all down 35th Street, black leaders. Now they didn't name the damn highway off of Ida B. Wells, who was fighting for black men being lynched. And not the damn black contractors didn't build the damn highway that they got named after. She ain't did no shit for a highway. She was talking about newspaper and lynching. So all these things symbolic. We got the 31st Street named after Margaret Burroughs, not her house being resurrected. We got Ida B. Wells, who on 39th Street that need a memorial for her, now it's on the highway down there. And everybody arguing about Christopher Columbus, who actually was a black man who steered the ship here, because the way I Google it, it was a black man that helped him drive the ship because he knew the damn world wasn't flat. I think his name is Joseph Sink. But anyway, I'm just saying, quit perpetrating that y'all really care about black history, because every magazine is gone. South Street is gone. Johnson products, all that's gone. So all the historical houses, and I just found out her kid collection is now being gone. So they ain't trying to be black, they lying. They lying.
So we got some more work to do. That's the bottom line. We got a lot more work to do. So look, man, it's time to get out of here, man. You done ran and raving for the last 45 minutes, and I ain't mad at you. You know,
I'm sorry.
that's not no. Don't be sorry, bro. Look. That's what I signed up for. I want to hear the truth, and my people want to hear the truth too. You know, so we got a lot of work to do, man. We got people that in the city of Chicago killing one another for various reasons, not for just one reason, but for various reasons, and we got to do what we can to try and stop it. You know, so I huh?
Can I say this?
Go
What
ahead.
can we do with $98 million for black folks? What could we do for $1.3 billion for the black church? What can we do with black history being taught kings and queens in our community? I say to you, if we had that money and the TIF money that went up to Lincoln Yard, $1 billion, it wouldn't be crime in the community. We're down from an economic problem and wondering why Pookie, Ray Ray, and them are out there killing when you can't hire. You got the Latinos doing landscaping. I say anti, but we hire Latinos for landscapers. We don't own black businesses. What do they want our children to do when from 16 to 24 is unemployed or unemployable because the schools have failed us? So I'm just want to set the record straight. Our children are in their right place if we ain't in our right mind.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Look, man, we got to get out of here. You're gonna come back again next month and tell us some more. We got to end this because we right at an hour, and I don't like to go longer than an hour. I want to say right quick, Michael Cooney, all the way in New York, said he saw this on a hike in New York recently. Thought he'd share. He shared a link to some information right on the feed here. Chris Bates, my brother in broadcasting, um, he checked in. He said, "What's up, Dr. Ron?" I want to thank all these people. Katie Lowe, she popped in to listen. Another broadcaster. Put your information up in the feed. We got to get out of here, y'all, because my brother is passionate about what's going on. Community activist with boots on the ground, Mr. Revin Fellows. You all can reach out to him at revinfellows@yahoo.com. He's always welcome on my show to bring information. You know, I know it seems like, he's an angry black man because he is, you know, and with a good reason.
What happened? Me and you were talking about me and you were talking about my mentor who give me a lot of slogans and
Right.
little things. So let me give you one for I can go for your listening audience. I want two things if I can.
Go ahead.
I don't want them to confuse my confidence with arrogance. That's one thing I want people to know. And the other thing, it's best to be pissed off than to be pissed on.
Amen. I like that. Look, and on that note right there, I guess Miss Chartrice didn't make it today, but whatever happened, we still love her, and she will be back with us again soon. She ain't gone nowhere, y'all. She just got caught up on some family business and couldn't get back fast enough. Peace and love. We're gonna see y'all next time next week. Next week we're gonna have the cash crowdfund folks on the show telling you all how to make money. So please don't go nowhere. Don't, stick around and stay. Be blessed. We love you. Peace and love, and see y'all next time.